they have come to realize that what they could get away with in the 70s and the 60s and in the 50s, it's not working for them anymore. We are awake and we are angry. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been missing in action, and I really want to thank everyone that reached out to check in on me. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much that has comforted me, how much that has helped me to get back in front of this camera. With all my heart, thank you. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for sticking with me, for following the channel. I don't know how to start to explain where I've been in my head and why I stepped away. But the good thing is that you have to understand, when you do slow living, it's imperative that you find your boundaries and you know when to step back. Just take a break and gather your thoughts and understand what's going on. And that's what I've been doing. I've been so caught up in everything that's going on. Guys, a shift is coming. If you're a little bit aware, you can feel something is shifting. Some people are not willing to adapt to this change that is coming. Some people are not strong enough to deal with this change that is coming. The time is coming, and it's not going to be long right now, that there's going to be a separation of worlds. The ones that are able to read the signs and understand what's going on, these people will adapt. These people will survive. I'm glad that most of the people that follow me, that they understand that it's over. The old world is coming to an end. And the good thing is, I don't know if it's good or bad, but the good thing here is that in Europe, our politicians have realized that they're either going to get on board and help us to understand, or they also will be left behind. Because, like I say, a shift is coming. Now, here in Europe, in the news, you can, in a subtle way, in a nuanced way, hear our politicians telling us that this shift is coming. They're not saying it full out. They're not throwing it in our face, but a few of them are saying that they feel something is happening. For example, in this clip.
You need to have water, you need to have a radio on batteries, and you need to have a flashlight on batteries to make sure that you can survive the first 36 hours. Things like that. That's simple things. But it starts there. The realization that not everything is plannable, not everything is going to be hunky-dory in the next 20 years. I'm not saying it is going wrong tomorrow, but we have to realize it's not a given that we are in peace. And that's why we have the plans. That's why we are preparing for a conflict with Russia and the terror groups, if it comes to it, if they attack us. We're not seeking any conflict. But if they attack us, we have to be ready.
Our politicians are now telling us what we as a prepper community knew years ago, that you have to prepare. My personal opinion is, I think that they realize that it's out of their hands now. I said, I think a year and a half ago in one of my vlogs, that all over the world people are standing up. People are waking up. People are going out on the streets. They're protesting. They're asking for their rights. They're basically voicing their opinions about what the hell is going on, as the very people that elected these politicians to work for us, why they never work for us, and the people in general are fed up. And what I think is happening now is the politicians, the elites, the people that run this world are coming to understand that a shift is coming. We do not believe anymore. We do not trust anymore. We would not have our voices taken from us anymore, our opinions. Things are changing, and I think they have come to realize that what they could get away with in the 70s and the 60s and in the 50s, 80s, 90s, it's not working for them anymore. The way of doing things that they've been doing is not working anymore. We are awake and we are angry. And think about it. Ain't it a wonder that they're trying to ban things like TikTok, where we have finally found our voices, where we can finally connect with people worldwide and understand and hear on the ground what is happening with people just like us. We do not have to rely on the news media anymore. The mainstream media that is controlled by the governments, that speak for the governments, that are afraid to speak against the governments, that push the government's narrative. We are not dependent on that anymore. We hear voices through TikTok and YouTube and different social medias that help us to understand that the things that we are being told that is happening on the ground in your life, in my life, in his, her, and everybody's life is not what the narrative would have us believe. That is one of the reasons I think they are so against TikTok, because you can go on TikTok, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Facebook and pull all kinds of knowledge from all kinds of people. Citizen journalists. We do not need a journalist anymore from the mainstream media. We talk to each other, we meet each other, we understand each other, we see the narrative that they are pushing on us isn't the reality on the ground. They understand that they're losing their voice and we are getting a voice. Look around you. There are protests everywhere about everything. And never forget, I keep saying never forget, we are so many of us and they are so few. We are so many. We have so much power. And until we understand that, which I think is happening worldwide, until we understand that, nothing is going to change. And I think we understand that. That's why I say a shift is coming. A big shift is coming to this world. And be prepared. Be prepared to go along with that shift. It's in your benefit. You know, you hear now about Mark Zuckerberg and most of the elites building bunkers. But what good is a bunker? Think about it. You going into your bunker after you've made a mess of the world, you've exploited the people. Your politics sucked for us in every aspect. Do you think you're going to be safe in your bunker? And I think that's what they're realizing. How can you be safe in your bunker? How can you ever come back out? You think we're going to let you out of your bunker? You think the people of the world are so gullible that you can do whatever, you can, for many, many decades, do whatever you want to us. Never tell us the truth, never prepare us, never fight for us. And then when you make a mess of everything, you run into your bunker. Do you think you'll ever come back out? Do you think the world community is ever going to let you back out of your bunker? That's the question. It's way past time for us to wake up and take back our power, because the power is ours. They just made us so afraid to exert our power. So they use this group against this group, pit us against each other, so we can keep busy fighting with each other, blaming each other, while they went along and do everything that they wanted to do. But it's because of platforms like TikTok and YouTube and Facebook that they try to demonize every day, try to ban every day with all kinds of excuses. They're stealing, the Chinese are stealing our data, Facebook is stealing our data, with whatever excuse they can. They have to shut it down because it gives us power. Understand that. It gives us understanding. It makes me see you as a friend and not an enemy, because that's modus operandus, you call it. Pit this group against this group and this one against that one, so we can stay fighting with each other while they run along and do whatever they want. It's over. I feel it. It's over. The jack is out of the box and it's never going back in. Isn't that a wonderful thing? I mean, I know I'm rambling, but there's so much going on that in my head I'm trying to put it together. There's Gaza, Israel, Ukraine, China, they try to make an enemy. Russia, they try to make an enemy. Everybody that challenges their way of living, they try to make an enemy and try to make us feel that they're an enemy. Those days are over, and I'm so glad. Far be it from me to have disappeared for 3 months to come back and talk about this stuff, and it's very difficult for me to put it in a nice ball that you can understand right now. But I'm just glad that I'm back. I'm glad that you stuck with me. I'm glad that you reached out for me. I mean, there's so much for us to discuss. And like I say, if you're even a little bit aware, you can feel it. They never can get us back in the box again. They know it, and they're afraid. And I love seeing that. I love seeing that. You know, I don't know exactly how the term goes in English, but I think they call it the death throes. You know, when a system or a person is dying, they lash out at everything to see how they can survive. We call it the death throes. That's what I think the world is in right now, and the elites and the politicians and the system in general. It's in its death throes, and it's dying. And my message to you is, understand this shift, feel this shift, look around you, listen, and be prepared, because the same people that we talked about as preppers that never tell us anything, never prepare us for anything, those are the same people now in Europe, a lot of European countries, UK, I think in America as well, that are trying now to recruit our young men to go fight their wars again.
NATO is calling up almost 100,000 troops for its biggest drills in almost 40 years.
As the war between Russia and Ukraine rages on, NATO is stepping in to remind Moscow of its military capabilities. The alliance launching what it calls Operation Steadfast Defender 24. The goal, rehearsing how American troops would reinforce European allies in countries bordering Russia if the conflict in Ukraine expands.
Steadfast Defender 24 will be a clear demonstration of our unity, our strength, and our determination to protect each other.
And the numbers are staggering. Some 90,000 troops will be involved, along with 50 ships, 80 fighter jets, and 1,100 tanks and other combat vehicles. They'll be deployed along an eastern front stretching thousands of miles. NATO is hoping it's enough to deter Russia from targeting a member nation.
It's becoming a law in a lot of European countries right now, also my country, the Netherlands, that they are starting to ask young men to join the army, to fight their wars. Many young men refuse. In England, they're refusing. Look it up. People are making social media posts where they're saying, "I will not fight your war." That's a little summary. I got a lot more to say, so don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share this video. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in Europe, in America, the North, South, that we have to pay attention to, because like I say, the world is shifting, and if you're not prepared to adapt, you will die with this old world, because a new world is coming, and it won't be long now. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again in my next vlog. Cheers.